Hello, world. Guess what? The Virgos are back and we have opinions. Welcome to the Virgo Verdict. I am one of your hosts today. My name is Tracy Ricks, and I got Sherrod Cohen in the building. Well, he not in my building, but he
Right.
here with me. And we got a few things to talk about today. Listen, join in the chat, in the comment section if you have comments. Um, but let's get into it. So we're gonna get right into it. So somebody sent us a video of Whoopi Goldberg on The View expressing her opinion about this new, it's not new, this thing where women's bodies are being policed. And I'm not sure of the authenticity of the video, but we decided to go with the topic anyway because it's still relevant. So tell us what you think. I'm going to play the video, the audio, and I want you all to listen carefully. Whoopi starts, and she states her opinion on the matter, and they have a guest on the clip who counters what she says with something else, and then we'll give our opinions on what we heard.
I don't know why you are not willing to allow me to take care of my body. Why are you so obsessed with what I do with my body?
Well, okay, if no one should have a say in your decision to get an abortion, then if the man that you slept with wants you to get an abortion, but you decide to keep it, then he shouldn't be forced to pay child support. Are you okay with that?
So the big whoop is after he says what he says, it appears that the women on the panel have no rebuttal. It's crickets, it's silent. But my issue is, first of all, I have a huge issue. I'm a staunch supporter of women and women's rights because I am a woman. I don't believe in the policing of women's bodies. I think as deplorable, especially with regard to anything, but we're talking about reproductive rights here. And I don't think that anyone should have a say over what I do or what I choose to do with my body. Now, because when you open the door up for allowing someone to have a say in what you can do with your person, that opens the door up for them to have a say in all other things with regard to humanity. And we know that there are depraved individuals in the world, and this shit can run amok. So I got a real issue with that because I got a real issue with somebody telling me what I can or cannot do with myself, with the self of my daughters, my nieces, all the women in the world. I think that's some bullshit. But with regard to his rebuttal, I get what he was trying to do, but what he said has nothing to do with the policing of bodies. What he said has everything to do with legislature, though. So let's say a woman gets pregnant. She tells the guy she's pregnant. He doesn't want the baby. He doesn't want anything to do with her or the baby. He pressures her to have an abortion. She refuses. I do not believe that the man should be held responsible for that decision. Um, I think if she makes that choice, then she should be willing to take on all of the responsibility associated with that choice. I don't think you can force a man to participate in a child's life, because we have men in the world who have agreed to have children and don't participate in their lives. And we can't force them to do that. Um, so I don't believe in that situation a man should be forced to pay child support or be forced to lend any kind of support when he has staunchly said, I don't want this and I want you to get rid of it. So that indicates to me that, he is suspending all parental rights. He don't want nothing to do with it. I think you should grant his fucking wish, because I think it would be selfish and it's just not right to try to force somebody to pay for a decision that you yourself have decided you were going to do, and they told you, I don't want shit to do with this. For me, that has nothing to do with the policing of the female body, though. Those to me are two totally different subjects. um yeah, so that's my opinion on that. I think that, and this might be off topic, I think with regard to reproduction, I think, and this might be radical, I think there should be some kind of legislation passed that says DNA tests have to be performed at the time of birth, because I know so many individuals who are finding out that their daddy ain't their daddy. And I am one of those individuals. While I don't have an issue with my mother, I totally understand her position and what led her to the decisions that she made surrounding my birth. I still think that there are way too many instances where women are having babies, telling these men that they're the father of the babies, and then they find out, the child or the father or both find out later in life that the child isn't there, and it causes some kind of emotional harm and detriment. And also, it denies both parties the opportunity of having relationships with their biological parent or their biological child. So that's where I stand on that. But I think Whoopi is absolutely right in what she said. And I also think that, the question that the guy posed was a great question, because, we got people out here who are trying to force, that's control freakness to me. You trying to force this man to do something he don't want to do, and then you gonna make him pay for a decision that you made. I think that's awful. I think that's deplorable. So, Sharad, what do you think?
I agree with you for the most part. I mean, I think that the people that want to police bodies are a small amount of folk. I don't think they're the majority of men.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of men, a lot of times, I believe, when they say, "Hey, a woman having an abortion," most of the time is advantageous for men. It's like, look, hey, I just hit, and I don't want no kid with you. As actually, I shouldn't even fucked you in the first place. So if you want to have an abortion, go ahead, do you the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on when I see women have children with married men, like
Mm-hmm.
you just made yourself a single mother, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. You
And
just
he's wrong,
inserted. Yeah,
he's wrong.
he's wrong.
He's wrong as
Mm-hmm.
fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just certain situations women put themselves in they
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be in. Like like I said, you're having children with a married man. You're having children with a motherfucker that's a part of the street life. He either might be killed or imprisoned, or a lot of times they go broke or get caught
Mm-hmm.
up or get caught up on their own product, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, I don't believe we should police a woman's body, but at the same time, she has to be held accountable for her own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think most men that say, look, hey, I don't want this child. And then the woman says, I'm still gonna have it.
Mm-hmm.
Well then he should have he should have the right to have a financial abortion. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it. I'll give up all rights, the whole 9 yards. And the way I think, hell, I got a 33% chance that child not mine anyway.
I mean, because Shit is out here. Shit is real. It's real out here. And the older I get, the more I recognize how it is prevalent. It's an issue. It's an issue out here in these streets with these women putting these babies on these kids. Now, granted, some of them might not know, but the majority of them be knowing, Sherrod, that the baby ain't the daddy that they claiming it to be. So what it tells me is with those situations, either women don't understand, there are women in the world who don't understand their bodies, because you can only get pregnant during a certain period of the month, which is your ovulation time. So it's either telling me that you don't understand how your body works, you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what your ovulation period is, or
Mm.
or what it is, when it's going to fall in the month, or you having sex with so many niggas during ovulation that you just don't know who the fucking daddy is. Either one is problematic.
Yep.
Like, for real. If you having sex with a bunch of niggas during a 4 day period, not trying to judge, but judging, I find issue. I have issue with that. And then you get pregnant, and now you don't know which one of these niggas is the daddy, or you done had sex with so many niggas during the month, and you don't know when your ovulation period is, so it could be anybody. That's a problem. You out
I
here in the world ignorant as fuck about your body and about
I
how this
know a
shit works.
situation where a young lady admitted to the young man that she had double digits in 1 month.
Whoa.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, well, she gave you that number, double that, homie.
Cause it's not a real number, for real. She leaving a few off.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I understand. Trust me. I went through the whole child support thing. I went through the custody battle. I've gone through the situation where it's like, you know, what we supposed to be having an abortion? What's going on?
Right.
So I got 9 kids. So I've been through a couple different scenarios, right?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna tell young men out here, if you don't want a kid with this woman, you have to prevent it. Because if you don't prevent the situation from happening, you planned it. And I'm
Hmm.
just taking the responsibility of my actions, because
Hmm.
that's something. If I didn't see you as somebody that's going to be around forever, I should just not either fuck you or hit you raw.
Right.
Now, a young lady asked me, who's to blame for that? I said, whoever complained the most. So if you're complaining about this deadbeat ass motherfucker, well, he wasn't no deadbeat when, just now. He's been one.
He's been one, and
He's
you
been
should
one.
have known that. And 9 times out of 10, we do know. We just, we ignore those red flags, and we still. And the other piece is we be wanting what we want at the time. So, I've there have been many of occasions where I have ignored a red flag because I wanted something from that dude. Mostly, it
Oh,
was,
yeah. Yeah.
it was
We
something.
all ignore
I
them
wanted
mugs.
something. And I tell the young men with whom I interact, if you don't want a kid, don't fuck nobody raw. Stop coming in bitches. Don't do that. So when you fucking raw, you decide, because during sex you lose your mind. You lose your right mind during sex. You do.
Hmm.
Something else takes over. And you don't make proper decisions when you're in the throes of passion. Um, so you have to make these decisions prior to, and you have to stick with them. And you have to say, either I'm not fucking raw or I'm not fucking her, period.
Hmm.
Because if you do the opposite, to me, that says that you're ready and willing to have a baby now.
Oh, you
You
know
know,
what? Another thing. Don't ever believe a woman when she says, I'm on birth control.
And that birth control shit is not 100%. It's not
And,
foolproof.
and here's another thing. It's three things. You name one, I name one, another one, and the other one is I don't know how consistently she's taking this. If it's pills,
Yeah.
she has to be consistent. And
Hmm.
anything man-made will fail.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I'm
know some
saying?
women who had that thing in their
IUD,
arm.
yeah,
Yeah, or whatever. Some
yeah.
kind of device implanted in them and it failed. It didn't work. I know a woman who had her tubes tied and still got pregnant.
She got her tubes knocked loose.
She did. She did. Her child is grown now. She was like, she never wanted kids. Um, and she got one. One and done. But she was mad as fuck. So shit can happen, I chalk those situations up as, a divine happening. Like, they
It
were
was
supposed
supposed
to
to
be
happen.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anything that you can prevent, abstinence is the only thing that's 100%.
Well, remember Jesus. Nah,
I think Mary was a metaphor for something. I haven't delved into that yet, but I will
no,
because
man. You don't want to hear my theory on it.
because we're talking about God here, Sherrod, and I can't even fathom the mind of God. I can't even fathom God's imagination. But I do know if God is God, and God is omnipotent, and God creates everything. He could have made Jesus ass just appear. I mean,
I,
Mary and Joseph didn't have to be part of it at all. Like, really, Jesus could have just appeared if we talking about a real live Jesus. But I digress because I got, a whole issue with the whole Jesus factor. You know what
I
I
do
mean?
too. I
I
do
think it's
too.
all a metaphor for something. I don't believe in God as
Yeah.
being a being. I believe God is a state of being. And I
Hmm.
believe in the science,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
That's.
talk all day about that. But yeah, y'all. So what do y'all think? Um, I don't think the old boy's rebuttal was appropriate for the subject. Um, I don't necessarily believe it was a real video, but for the sake of
Yeah.
conversation, I think that the topics are great topics to discuss. So, one, how do y'all think? What do you think about this whole rekindling or reigniting of policing women? Because this isn't new. You
Mm-mm.
know, as women's rights increased, we got more say so over the type of lives that we would live, and now it seems like we're regressing to a degree. So what do you think about that? And then also, what do you think about, you know men who want to bow out of parenthood when it was not their intention or their choice in the first place? But also, too, y'all, if you are going to police women's bodies and say, women can or cannot have abortions, then just to make it equitable, you got to do something with the men too. Forced vasectomies would be nice. Not would be nice, but if you're going to do something for this going to um be a if you're going to police women, then you got to police men too.
You know what? You want to hear something crazy though? And a lot of the ideals that men get, they come from women. Because
Mm,
that's the funny thing. A lot of the things that people get mad about me, or mad at me about when I post online, I get it
mm-hmm.
from females. I talk shit the females talk. It's like, hey, they the one called y'all the hoes in the bitch. I'm just repeating what she said. You know?
And
Eh,
I'm glad that you brought that up because I want to. So, y'all, put it in the comments, whatever you think about the topic that we just discussed. But so, y'all, if you agree with our verdicts, put it in the comments. If you have a conflicting verdict, put that in the comments. Or if you have a long diatribe, send it in an email to virgoverdict at gmail.com. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe. So until next time, peace.
Peace.